On her first day at Riverton High, Eleanor Hayes just wanted to blend in and teach her history class without drama. But in the bustling cafeteria, surrounded by hundreds of students munching on burgers and fries under the fluorescent lights, her blouse was ripped open by a group of entitled seniors. The laughter echoed like thunder, and for a split second, it felt like the end of her career. Yet, in that humiliating moment, Eleanor did something that would flip the entire school upside down. What followed wasn't just a tale of one teacher's survival, it was a battle against deep-rooted injustice, power plays, and the kind of bullying that hides behind wealth and influence. As the story unfolds, you'll question, when does self-defense cross into violence? And how far should one go to uproot corruption in a place meant to nurture young minds? Riverton High sat in the heart of a fading industrial town in the American Midwest, where cornfields stretched for miles and the local factory had long since shuttered its doors. The school's brick facade, weathered by decades of harsh winters, hid hallways lined with dented lockers and faded posters promoting school spirit. It was the kind of place where Friday night football games still drew crowds, but beneath the surface, a toxic hierarchy thrived. Wealthy families from the nearby suburbs pulled strings on the school board, ensuring their kids ruled the roost. Eleanor Hayes, a seasoned educator in her early 40s with a background in inner-city schools down south, had moved north for a fresh start after a tough divorce. Her dark curls were pulled back neatly, and she wore a simple white blouse tucked into khaki pants, practical, professional, unassuming. She paused outside room 205, her lesson plans clutched under her arm. Taking a steadying breath, she pushed open the door to her junior history class. The room buzzed with the usual teenage energy, kids scrolling on phones, tossing balled-up notes, and chatting about the latest streaming shows. But as soon as she stepped in, the whispers started. A wolf whistle cut through the air, followed by stifled giggles. In the back row, 3 boys lounged like kings on thrones. Dylan Hargrove, the ringleader at 17, sported a buzz cut and a Letterman jacket emblazoned with the school's eagle mascot. He was the son of the school board president, a man whose construction company had built half the town. Flanking him were Austin, with his muscular build and a faded scar on his cheek from a supposed bar fight, and Cody, whose perpetual grin masked a sharp tongue. Eleanor smiled warmly, her voice steady and southern-tinged. "Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Hayes, your new history teacher. Let's dive into the American Revolution today, talk about fighting for what's right." The class quieted for a moment, but then Dylan leaned back, smirking. "Ms. Hayes? Sounds like my grandma's name. You sure you're not here to bake cookies?" His buddies erupted in laughter, and a few others joined in nervously. Eleanor didn't flinch. She opened her notebook and began roll call. Halfway through, a wadded paper sailed toward her, landing at her feet. She picked it up, unfolded it to reveal a crude sketch of her as a cartoonish figure with exaggerated features. "Impressive artistry," she said calmly. "Channel that into your essays, and you'll ace this class." The disruptions escalated. Fake sneezes, mimicking her accent. Even a phone playing rap music low enough to annoy but not to pinpoint. Eleanor redirected each time, posing questions that pulled the class back in. Sophia, a quiet girl with braided hair in the front row, watched with wide eyes, impressed. Next to her, Marcus, a lanky kid with glasses who loved tinkering with gadgets in the robotics club, nodded approvingly. This teacher wasn't backing down. Midway through, Dylan stood abruptly, his chair scraping loudly. He sauntered to the front, towering over her desk. "Look, lady, this is our turf. What makes you think you can come in here and act like you own the place?" Eleanor's gaze met his evenly. "I'm here to teach respect, Dylan. Starting with yourself." The class gasped. Austin whistled mockingly, and Cody slapped his desk in feigned shock. Dylan snatched her notebook, but she held firm. Their standoff lasted seconds before he tossed it back with a sneer. "Fine, but lunch today? That's when you'll get the real Riverton welcome." He stormed back to his seat, leaving the room thick with tension. As the bell rang, Eleanor gathered her things, her hands steady despite the adrenaline. She knew this was just the beginning. In the hallway, Dylan leaned against a locker, muttering to his crew loud enough for passers-by to hear. "Cafeteria at noon. Showtime." The lunch bell rang, unleashing a flood of students into the cafeteria cavernous space smelling of greasy fries and overcooked pizza, with long tables under banners from last year's state championships. Eleanor grabbed a tray with a salad and sandwich, trying to ignore the stares. Word of her morning clash had spread like wildfire on group chats. Dylan and his posse occupied the central table, dubbed the VIP spot by the intimidated underclassmen. As Eleanor sat at a corner table, Dylan's voice boomed. "Hey, newbie. Welcome to Riverton." Snickers rippled through the crowd. She looked up calmly. "I'm just eating lunch, Dylan. You should try it, builds character." His face twisted, and he nodded to Austin. Austin grabbed his tray, sloshing soda, and accidentally bumped into her, spilling everything across her blouse. Ketchup smeared like blood, soda soaking through. Laughter exploded. Then Cody stepped in, yanking at her collar. The fabric tore with a sickening rip, exposing her shoulder in front of the gawking crowd. Silence fell, heavy and expectant. Dylan crowed, "Gonna cry now, Teach?" But Eleanor didn't cry. She stood slowly, her breath even. In a blur, she gripped Cody's wrist, twisted her hips, and executed a flawless judo throw. He hit the floor with a thud, winded but unharmed. Austin charged next. She sidestepped, redirecting his force and sending him sprawling. Dylan lunged last, fury in his eyes. She blocked, locked his arm, and forced him to his knees without a punch thrown. "I didn't come to fight," she said clearly, "but I will defend myself and anyone else you threaten." The cafeteria erupted not in mockery, but applause. It started with Sophia clapping tentatively, then Marcus joining, until the whole room thundered. Eleanor released Dylan, who staggered up, red-faced and humiliated. Phones were out, videos capturing every angle. As she adjusted her torn blouse, Sophia approached. You made me feel safe for once." Eleanor smiled gently. "You deserve that." The doors burst open. Assistant Principal Ramirez rushed in, her face a mask of alarm. Whispers flew. She took them down like pros. Dylan glared, muttering, "This ain't over," as he slunk back to his table. But the tide had shifted. The once feared bully was now the punchline. By afternoon, the videos exploded across social media and school apps. Teacher versus Dylan crew trended locally, with clips showing multiple views: the spill, the tear, the throws. Comments poured in, "Hero teacher," mixed with "She assaulted students, fire her." In the staff lounge, opinions divided. Some praised her guts, others whispered she'd stirred a hornet's nest. The principal's office phone rang off the hook, outraged parents on one side, grateful ones on the other. An email from Mr. Hargrove, Dylan's father and board president, demanded action. Violence against students won't stand. Eleanor sat in an empty classroom after school, staring at the football field where leaves swirled in the autumn wind. Her pulse still raced, but resolve hardened. Sophia and Marcus knocked softly. "Ms. Hayes, they're calling you the Iron Educator online," Sophia said excitedly. Marcus adjusted his glasses. "But there's fake stuff, two edited videos making it look like you choked Dylan." Eleanor nodded. "Then we fight with truth. Real power isn't in throws, it's in standing firm." That evening, in the Hargrove basement, a sprawling space with pool tables and flat screens, Dylan paced, replaying the clips. "She made me look weak," he snarled. Austin rubbed his shoulder. "Didn't know she had moves." Cody nodded shakily. Dylan slammed his fist. "We twist this. Make her the villain." He pulled up files. Altered videos with added screams. Cropped photos from her old job showing her hugging distressed students. Captioned maliciously, "Inappropriate teacher?" The plan was set: spread doubt, rally the board. The next day, the school hummed with division. Anonymous posters appeared. Eleanor's face edited with devil horns, labeled dangerous. In class, half the students engaged, the other half smirked. During break, Sophia showed her a doctored clip. "She's breaking my arm," screamed a fake voiceover. Marcus frowned. "I can check the metadata, prove it's phony." Eleanor agreed. "Do it safely." In the boardroom, Mr. Hargrove thundered, "Suspend her now." But Assistant Principal Ramirez countered. "The full video shows self-defense." And the kids applauded. Eleanor gathered Sophia and Marcus in a quiet room. "We're starting a club for building confidence, learning defense without aggression." They named it the Resilience Network. But outside, a clank echoed. Her locker vandalized with spray paint. "Leave now." Whispers grew, leaked secrets from her past, twisted into scandals. Anonymous texts buzzed her phone. Quit or regret it. She exhaled, typing a report on school safety reforms. This fight was bigger than her. Tensions boiled as fake news dominated chats. In class, Dylan provoked. Prove you're not violent, push me. His phone recorded secretly. Eleanor refused. What about leading with fear? Does it build anything lasting? Sophia spoke up. Fear just breeds hate. Dylan made me pay to keep my secrets safe. The class murmured. Marcus played a recording, Dylan's voice offering cash for smears. The door flew open. Ramirez and a district attorney entered. Suspension pending investigation, the lawyer announced. Eleanor accepted calmly. Truth will out. The suspension hit the local news. Teacher accused of assault. Headlines twisted the narrative, but supporters rallied with hashtags. Eleanor met with Ms. Lopez, a local attorney, and Theo Grant, a freelance reporter, in the town library. We need witnesses, Theo said. Ms. Lopez nodded. I'll demand preserved evidence. In the gym, Coach Thompson gathered victims. Stories poured out: extorted lunch money, threats. But Dylan countered with more fakes. Hugged photos captioned creepily. Posters multiplied. Stares turned suspicious. Sophia showed Eleanor the latest. Inappropriate embraces. Marcus analyzed. Fake style prove it. Ms. Lopez emailed for data preservation. Theo published an expose with originals. Threats escalated. Disappear or worse. Eleanor stared at her mended blouse. No retreat. The public hearing packed the auditorium. Banners touting fairness and justice. Eleanor entered, blouse repaired a symbol. Mr. Hargrove accused. Violence incarnate. Ms. Lopez played the unedited video, self-defense clear. Doctored photos debunked with full contexts. Marcus's recording blared Dylan's bribes. Victims testified. He bullied me too. Outrage swelled. Ms. Lopez revealed shady funds tied to Hargrove. Chaos erupted. The hearing adjourned amid calls for investigation. Post-hearing, the town buzzed. The county probed Riverton. Eleanor unveiled reforms. Anonymous reports, cameras, clubs. But Dylan confronted her on the field. You ruined me. She replied, change starts with you. Threats arrived, stop or hurt. At a presser, she declared, kindness is strength. In the gym for the club's first meet, lights flickered, door locked. Austin and Cody slipped in, filming to frame her. Eleanor subdued Austin safely. Marcus grabbed the phone. Sirens wailed. Police arrived. Confessions spilled. Dylan watched from afar, doubt creeping. The emergency meeting sealed it. Dylan confessed. It was Munder Dad's pressure. Reforms passed. Eleanor reinstated to lead changes. Penalties hit. Suspensions, counseling. The blouse displayed as a symbol in a ceremony. School transformed. Clean halls, empowered kids. Yet, in his mansion, Mr. Hargrove seethed. Not over. But justice prevailed. Riverton reborn. What do you think about the themes of violence and injustice in this story? Share your opinions in the comments below. Do you believe self-defense justifies force, or does it perpetuate cycles? Take a stand and express your views. I'd love to hear how this resonates with your own experiences.